Hello, friends, and welcome to the channel. My name is Ryan Abair, and this is where I share my insights. And today I'm talking about So You Think You Can Drive. And this is about clamoring around to finally get your life so that you can control it, set it on course, and make it easy. Well, it's not that easy, especially if you think the universe has a steering wheel, which it doesn't. And so easy living is more or less being a better passenger than it is thinking you're the pilot. Stick around and I'll explain. One of the most exciting experiences, I think, is getting on an airplane and having a seat and knowing without one shadow of a doubt that your pilot knows where she's going. She knows the plane. She knows how high to fly it. She knows how fast it's going to go. And she gets there without us even thinking about it. We have no access to the cockpit. So we sit in our seat and we simply just enjoy the ride. No one gets onto an airplane and asks to see the pilot's credentials. They don't go around checking to make sure that the engines are going to run smoothly. And they don't wonder about how the plane flies either. They know that this plane is going to get them to where they want to be. Yes, there is a chance that it's going to crash, but the most dangerous part of flying is driving to the airport. So this is a moot point. Your chances of dying in an airplane crash are slim to nil. But even if you did die, is that the worst that could happen to you? Probably. But death is not going to be a penalty. You've already heard me say that. So it all becomes moot at some point. And that's my point. It's all moot. You can once you understand that your futility, your attempts at doing don't lead you anywhere, in the same way as your attempts of changing the universe. I mean, it's so vastly unchangeable. The cosmos, as if you're going to get in there and rearrange the stars or make the asteroids collide or build galaxies. Really, science knows that it happens, but they don't know how. Nobody can tell you how anything happens. And the bookstores are filled with how-to books. It seems like my YouTube channel is a how-to. And it isn't. There's no how-to. I don't know how to. I just know that. Because if I did know how to, I would make my own Big Bang. I would make my own universe. The problem is I would probably want all the money and all the prestige and all the fame and all the power. But then I would get tired. I would get tired of that. Well, then I would make a world where I didn't get tired of it. Oh, well, then I would wonder if not getting tired of it meant anything. So it's silly to try to take the contrast out of life. But really, there is no contrast. Reality does not change. Reality is completely unchangeable. And it looks glitchy, right? It just seems like it's not cooperating. Reality doesn't cooperate with me. That's because the individual will is so fishy. And so people who think they've figured out a way to lead their lives, and we all do this, we all clamor around thinking, if I just had the right organizational system, if I had just the right amount of money, if I could just do this, then my life would be set. My brother told me that one time. If my company just went, when it goes public and blah, 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 I'll be set, right? You know? And so we want this set it and forget it kind of life. And it is like that. But not until you realize there's no individual will, there's no individual direction, there's no pilot. I know it looks like Ryan Hebert there's a pilot. But if you get into yourself, right? I thought about this. Like, it feels like thinking is up here in my brain. That's where it feels like it is. And when I think, I'm also listening. So all of the activity of life is kind of up here. And so the feeling of me is sort of in between my eyes, you know? That's where a lot of people feel this feeling of me. And then the rest of the body dangles. So like there's a little man in there, like in between my eyes, thinking and hearing and trying to get... Do you feel how silly and how weird the feeling of me is? Like a little peanut in your head, but you're the whole body, and you're dangling from that spot. You know you're not just a little tiny me in there. And so we're left with this feeling that we can control our limbs and that there's something called voluntary control, but there's not. Voluntary control is every bit as involuntary control. It just so happens it's like having I feel like it's like the universe gave itself a plastic joystick, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna squeeze tight and control this, and then your life kind of goes there, and then all of a sudden reality shifts course, and you're like pushing on that joystick to go that way, and reality goes that way, and you're so pushing on the joystick, god damn it, pushing on the accelerator, gunning it, and it's not working. And so what do? We say reality is glitchy. Reality sucks. Reality won't do what I want it to do. That's because your individual will is being beaten down. That's your destiny. To stop thinking you have an individual will. To stop thinking that there is a difference between the happenings of the universe and the individual happening. The cosmos happens beautifully. And no one's been able to find the steering wheel or the control systems. No one's been able to figure out how it so beautifully runs itself. Nobody can successfully explain how the universe began. If you really look at it, it's that the universe began. It's a description of it. It's a description of something that already happened. But nobody knows how to get into the precognitive function, the programming, if you will. So the physical world is like hardware. You can't change the hardware. And then it kind of feels like the internal world is the software, but it's not. There's no program. There's no like predetermined program that is just running. Nobody knows how to get into the system. In the same ways that nobody knows how to get into the subconscious mind. We don't understand that. And the conscious mind is this layer of illusion that looks like I've got a little joystick and I can do this and do this and do this. And then every once in a while, reality is so shifty. But reality doesn't change. Reality is not glitchy. Reality is this beautiful, perfect, set thing. And the individual, the person, the noticer, notices it so slowly, it's already set. And so we fool ourselves into thinking that we can advance to the cockpit in something called one day. Someday I'll overcome. Someday I'll figure out how to get ahead of my life and push it in the direction I want to go. And you will realize that is a complete exercise in futility. And that true easy living is being more careful to notice how reality is unfolding. And this individual perception sometimes falls out of alignment, falls out of tune with it. Because ultimately, the advancement that we seek is to advance to the unconditional state. Unconditional living, unconditional loving, unconditional joy, unconditional peace. And the only way that happens is through focus. That's it. Focusing to the smallest segment of time. That's how you advance to the front of the so-called fuselage. To realize there's no limit to how much you can focus attention. Nor can you get to the front of the plane. There is no front. There is no steering wheel. There's no control. That's what I'm saying. It's just happening. At least it appears like it's happening. Besides, if you were to get to the cockpit of the universe, considering that, thinking maybe there is, where are you going to drive it? The universe doesn't have any place to go. The universe is stuck. There's nothing relative to the universe so you can go away from it or to it. Imagine getting a hold of the universe and driving it somewhere. Moving it. That's what it, so movement is an illusion too, right? Because you have to have something to move up against. And people are insane because they don't understand the relative nature of the universe. They don't understand that even in the spiritual realm there's duality. Because people say, oh, connect to the deeper I. That's a dual statement. Deeper means shallow. And so we have to contemplate what is the opposite of I. That one's tricky because the I is everything. Everybody uses that pronoun. How can there be a difference between the I that I use and the I that you use? I don't understand how I am the cosmos and I'm in the cosmos. I don't know that. I don't understand that. So there's no control over the cosmos when I am the cosmos. In the same ways, there's no control over my life. So you know what I do? I enjoy it. When I notice myself getting out of tune with it, I join up with it. Oh, you mean this character is going to be bald? Learn to love it. You mean this character is going to have a digestive problem and a health problem and go through a divorce? If I were really to be sitting at the drafting table of my life, would I have envisioned a cheating spouse who put me through a divorce? No, I'd never put myself through a divorce. I'd never put myself through the conditions I've been through. All I would do is I would win all the lotteries. I would have the biggest house. And then I would be tired of it and want to put myself through all sorts of things. So if I could dream anything, I would end up dreaming all kinds of funny scenarios for myself because I get tired of dreaming being a billionaire all the time. So that's what the universe is doing. It's it seems as though it's dreaming up all these characters to put itself through all these scenarios as if it didn't know how it went. As if the ultimate purpose wasn't to discover that love leads. See, that's the thing. If you could get in the cockpit, you would just see love and light and the wild blue yonder upon which all things come. How can I describe to you the wild blue yonder? How can I describe to you out of nowhere this comes? Out of nowhere the Big Bang came. How can I describe to you nowhere? How can I describe to you that I exist and I am extinct at the same time. Or that I am real and unreal at the same time. The only way that I can successfully explain anything is to get out of the way. To get out of the way of thinking that there's this me holding a joystick, running my life. Well, life is not going where I want it to. I need to line up with reality much quicker, and something called adaptability then. Get with it. Get on board. Sit first class. Enjoy where your life is going. Think about how easy it was for you to be born. So simple. You didn't have to do anything. There you go. Popped on the earth. So if birth is that effortless and that out of your control, so is everything else. Your circumstances are out of control. The time period you live in are out of control. The parents you had are out of control. The eye color you have is out of your control. And you're suffering as a result of not getting with it, not sitting your ass down and contemplating how futile it is for you to try to control what is essentially happening. You are too slow to control. Human beings are too slow. They think they are controlling. Reality is much too quick. Much too quick. Much too smart. It just appears glitchy for the people who don't understand. And when you understand, you just, oops. How fun is this? How cool is it? That this is just all happening. I'm trying to demonstrate that for you right now. These words just come out. I'm not thinking about what I'm going to say. They just come out. I don't think about what I'm going to say. I'm not tripped up by the future. And I'm not biting my fingernails saying, oh my God, I just said this, or I said fuck, or I said damn, or I said shit. It's going to be as it is. And when you align with reality and you disappear into it, it's sweet. So you think you can drive. Where would you take it? The universe doesn't move. What are you going to do with it? Throw it away? Where are you going to put it? It has nowhere to be put. What are you going to do? Dominate the universe? Well, to dominate it, you have to be in some other universe, a better universe, a higher universe, a different one. No, you are this one. You are this universe, this moment, this time. And you just enjoy the view. Sure, it's going to take you on all kinds of fun rides, but it's a thrill ride. And you can't be thrilled if there's no surprise. If you try to dominate and control, there's no thrill. There's no contrast. There's no joy ride. But it's not really a ride. I'm not going anywhere. A so-called spiritual journey is simply just the individual will decaying. The individual person melting into unconditional love. Let's go on that ride. That's the ride of a lifetime. No need to control that. It will just happen. There's no cockpit. No control. No dominance. Literally sit back like this. And let it be. That's first class living. That's the good. You're in the cheap seats if you're trying to control. The good seats are as close to the so-called cockpit as you can be, which is love, light. You can't drive, and neither can I. We're just passengers, and it's great. Whew, what a relief. You don't have to fly the 747. Some of you can. I wouldn't know where to begin. My name is Ryan Hebert. I hope you enjoyed my insights, and if you did, please check out my blog. It's called mymorningmotivator.com, and we'll see you next time.